Why is it that the city with the highest concentration of millionaires worldwide also has 25% of its children living in poverty? It's the paradox that defines New York City, a place that houses the world's wealthiest individuals while simultaneously grappling with a striking poverty rate. This economic disparity is not just an abstract concept, it manifests itself in every corner of the city, most notably in the housing market. New York City, home to an estimated 340,000 millionaires, as of 2023, is also home to over 2 million individuals living in poverty. This startling statistic comes from a report by Robin Hood and Columbia University's Center on Poverty and Social Policy, painting a stark picture of a city divided. The housing crisis in New York City is a reflection of this divide. It's a tale of two cities within one, where the gleaming high-rises and luxury apartments of the affluent stand in stark contrast to the shortage of affordable housing for the city's less fortunate residents. This shortage is not merely a matter of inconvenience. It's a pressing issue that affects the well-being of millions of New Yorkers. The Bronx, Queens, and Brooklyn are the boroughs hit hardest by this crisis, with the highest poverty rates in the city. Here, the lack of affordable housing options forces many residents into a perpetual cycle of instability and financial strain. But what is causing this crisis? Is it simply the result of economic disparity, or are there other factors at play? And most importantly, what is being done to address it? As we delve deeper into this issue, we'll uncover the intricate web of factors contributing to New York's housing shortage and explore how leaders in the city are taking action to address it. Let's delve deeper into what is causing this housing crisis. What happens when the demand for housing far outstrips the supply? A housing crisis. Let's examine the factors contributing to this crisis. It's a paradox that in a country as vast as the United States, there's a scarcity of buildable land. This issue is particularly acute in scenic areas like the American West, where an influx of residents, combined with limited land availability and conservation efforts, has driven up home prices by a staggering 50%. But it's not just the scarcity of land that's at play here. Zoning restrictions and a tangle of red tape also hinder the construction of new housing units. Historically, the American West relied heavily on suburban sprawl, a model that has had both environmental and financial drawbacks. Post the 2008 recession, there's been a shift towards denser housing, a move towards multifamily buildings. Yet the red tape and zoning regulations have been a roadblock, exacerbating the housing shortage and further driving up prices. But it's not just the West. In 2023, 4 of the most competitive rental markets in the country, including Oklahoma City and Silicon Valley, added virtually no new apartments. This shows that the housing crisis is a nationwide issue. A study by Rent Cafe revealed an alarming trend. 17 out of the top 20 competitive rental markets are building less housing than the national average. This, coupled with high costs and interest rates, has led to decreasing construction. The ones who bear the brunt of this crisis are the low-income renters. With a shortage of affordable housing nationwide, they are disproportionately affected. Miami, with high demand and low vacancy rates, has emerged as the most competitive rental market. College towns, too, are feeling the pinch due to growing student populations. Now that we understand the problem, let's look at how New York's Democrats are attempting to address it. Faced with a record housing shortage, New York Democrats have decided to take action. But what does this action look like? Let's delve into this. The Democrats' proposed solutions to the housing crisis are multifaceted and ambitious, designed to benefit both existing and potential homeowners. One of their key strategies is to increase the supply of affordable housing. They're looking to do this by easing zoning restrictions, which have historically hindered the construction of multifamily buildings. By doing so, they hope to create more housing options and alleviate the pressure on the market. In addition, they're also focusing on renewing policies that have proven to be effective in the past. For instance, they're seeking to revive a 1950s idea of constructing public housing, which could provide much-needed homes for low-income families. This is a tried and tested method, with past outcomes showing a significant decrease in homelessness and an increase in affordable housing availability. Another approach is to implement fully refundable tax credits, housing vouchers, and childcare subsidies. These measures aim to alleviate poverty and make housing more affordable for those most in need. This is especially relevant considering that a report by Robin Hood and Columbia University's Center on Poverty and Social Policy revealed that over half of New York City's population is living in poverty or with low incomes. The Democrats are also addressing the rental market. They're looking to regulate rent increases and protect renters' rights, providing a safety net for those living in rented accommodation. This is a crucial step, considering that in 2023, some of the most competitive rental markets in the US added very few new apartments, according to a study by Rent Cafe. In essence, these solutions aim to create a more balanced and equitable housing market in New York, where everyone, regardless of their income, has a chance to have a home. By increasing supply, regulating rents, and offering financial support, they're tackling the housing crisis from multiple angles. It's clear that these solutions could have a positive impact on New York's housing market, but how exactly will they benefit homeowners and renters? Well, that's a question we'll explore in our next segment, so stay tuned. Scene script: how could the Democrats' actions potentially help homeowners and renters in New York? Let's delve into the possible benefits of these proposed solutions. For starters, increasing the availability of affordable housing could be a game changer for many New Yorkers. It's no secret that the city has been grappling with a housing shortage, with a surge in poverty and even a quarter of its children living in difficult circumstances. By increasing the stock of affordable housing, the Democrats' plan could provide much-needed relief for families struggling to keep a roof over their heads. But it's not just about quantity, it's also about quality. Affordable housing doesn't have to mean cramped living conditions or dilapidated buildings. With the right regulations and incentives, we could see a boom in well-designed, energy-efficient homes that provide a decent standard of living without breaking the bank. Now let's talk about renters. Rent control measures are another critical aspect of the Democrats' plan. Skyrocketing rents have been a major pain point for New Yorkers, particularly those in low-income brackets. By implementing rent control measures, the Democrats could help ensure that renting a home in the city doesn't become an unaffordable luxury. For homeowners, easing zoning restrictions could be a significant boon. Many homeowners have property that could be developed further, adding value to their homes and creating additional living space. However, current zoning restrictions often make it difficult, if not impossible, to make these improvements. By easing these restrictions, the Democrats could empower homeowners to make the most of their properties, potentially boosting their financial security in the process. While these measures could help alleviate the housing crisis, they're not a magic bullet. However, they are a step in the right direction. In the face of a record housing shortage, these measures by New York Democrats offer a glimmer of hope. But what does the future hold for New York's housing market? New York's housing market is poised for a transformation, fueled by the Democrats' bold initiatives. With the spotlight on affordable housing, we may see an uptick in the construction of affordable units across the city. It's a move that could help alleviate the housing crisis, offering more options for low to middle income families and individuals. As these affordable housing units spring up, we might also witness the gentrification of certain neighborhoods. Forgotten corners of New York could become vibrant communities, humming with fresh energy and vitality. This process, while often controversial, could bring about improved amenities and infrastructure, contributing to the overall quality of life in these areas. Now let's turn our attention to property values and rent prices. It's a delicate balance. On one hand, increased housing supply could stabilize or even lower property prices and rents. This would be a welcome relief for many New Yorkers who spend a disproportionate amount of their income on housing. On the other hand, gentrification could potentially drive up property values in certain neighborhoods, leading to higher rents. However, with the Democrats' focus on affordable housing, we can hope that the impact of gentrification will be mitigated. Measures could be put in place to ensure that existing residents aren't priced out of their neighborhoods and that a diverse mix of housing options remains available. While these are potential future trends, they aren't set in stone. The housing market is influenced by a myriad of factors, including economic conditions, interest rates, and population growth. While the future is uncertain, one thing is clear: New York's housing crisis requires urgent attention, and it seems the Democrats are ready to take up the challenge. The next few years will be pivotal for New York's housing market, and we'll be here to guide you through every twist and turn.